mysterious world. We live in a mysterious world. And in that mysterious world, as we walk through its mazes in time and space over the course of our lives, we find ourselves additionally disoriented by things that are not what they seem, confused by the unknown, unsure often between what is reality and what is an illusion. Lost in the woods of perception and reason, we look for guideposts, for patterns, for signals to help us navigate these invisible paths, maps from the stars and galaxies to the deep, dark caves of the unconscious mind. Up ahead, what is it? A light, a fire, a spark, an illumination? Some intrepid seeker has left a gift for us, a gift of insight, a bit of the blueprints of the place, clues to its character and makeup. You know, on this program, we have welcomed these guides, these explorers of the mind and universe.
There's no difference.
Hold your horses, Spirit Barber. I'm introducing you. You're interrupting yourself, essentially. One of our most mysterious guests is with us today in the studio, but I imagine he could speak to us without having to be here physically. He's that powerful. But the Spirit Barber, Andy Costello, is here. Inventor, explorer, philosopher, guide, dimensional warrior, and actual barber. What do they call that, Ray? Barbering. You don't call it that.
He chops.
He chops. He chops over in Brooklyn. But he also speaks interdimensionally with beings from other planes of existence, and he wears, most notably upon his head, a band of unusual construction. It looks like a metal band around his head, and attached to it are what appear to be, at least to the untrained eye, kitchen items, whisks and skewers and tongs. And on the forehead, featured prominently is, oh, well, that can't be a diamond.
Raisinite. It's an imagined gemstone with relative properties.
Well, he's going to tell us about it. Let's just dive into the soup of strange worlds and say, welcome, Spirit Barber Andy Costello.
May I address, as it were, your listeners for a moment, if I may?
Yes, go right ahead.
I, Andrew Costello, grateful for you out there in listener sphere of influence, that you allow me to transmit certain knowledge that I have obtained through my studies and experiments to you as of today.
Spirit Barber, describe your headwear.
If you may recall portraits of spirit beings such as the Buddha or Mike Gennari, they have a third eye. Now, this is a direct energy connection to this and other worlds for communicating, so that that energy of universal consciousness can enter through the prostate gland and into the spirit soul, as it were.
I think you mean the pineal gland.
What did I say? Pipi gland in the brain.
Just want you to get the anatomy straight.
It acts as a sort of antennae or receptor or radio, if you will, to draw in signals from other dimensional worlds. These are picked up and stored in the brain as dreams.
So that dream I had where Eisenhower's face was a house and I fell through a hole in the sky?
I recognize that
Go to sleep.
universe.
I can't. I'm intrigued by this spooky show about the unknown. Here's a spooky unknown. Am I going to punch your lights out or not? There's a universe where you're already doing that, I bet. Oh, many universes. Okay. But it helps me fall asleep if I lose myself in my imagination. Well, do it without the radio. So, freestyle imagine? I'm done with witty quips, and now I'm moving on to disturbing actual threats of harm. I don't want to put you in that position, Butch. I'll retreat to the imagination part of my brain.
Imagine a world where Lou Register has got it all.
Imagine a place where stevedores are captains of industry, and people who aren't exactly geniuses are geniuses.
This is Lou Register's world, and welcome to it.
I'm flying.
Look down.
That's the sky.
You're flying upside down.
Can I flip around? I'm afraid I'll throw up and choke.
You don't have to. You are pure spirit.
Spit.
Spirit.
Spirit, spit. Long before Rush, we had the great spirit and image, spit and image shift.
Lou Register, free-flying interdimensional mind being.
I don't mind being that.
Anywhere you can think of, you can go.
Man, that's a bit of a burden. I can hardly plan meals for the week. If you could go anywhere, where would you go is a paralyzing question. I hope I don't answer nowhere.
You want to go nowhere, are you sure?
No, I don't know.
Nowhere.
Uh-oh. If anyone can mess up daydreaming, it's me. Lucky for you, you did all that out loud so I can rescue you and take you on a real adventure which should quench your thirst for other worlds. Hello, everybody. I'm Lou Register. Oh, thanks. I have very little to say, I think. Please stop laughing and clapping. It's freaking me out. Oh. Rainstorm, please. Oh, I'm inside. And dry. And nude. Nah. How about a resort-style bathrobe and slippers? Ah. And a cocoa. But it isn't real, because the real thing makes me nauseous. But I still crave it. Like conflict. Floor or no floor? Floor. Oh, I know. I'm in a small one-room cabin, and it's floating through the air. In daytime. Over famous world capitals, and also those parts of the ocean that are sort of greenish blue because of, what is it, coral or something? Or maybe they're just shallow. I've seen those kind of pictures on screensavers. Oh, I have lost my train of thought. I know. Train, please.
This is Lou's first train ride by himself. While he washes his face and back, so does the train car that is getting ready to spirit him across the country, except it's the train workers doing the washing, not the car itself. Lou finds his roomette, but can't quite stop commenting on the name roomette.
Cigar is to room as cigarette is to roomette.
One of the friendly train conductors, or whatever they're called, helps Lou get settled in so he can explore the rest of the train. Ticket, please. Lou shows the ticket to the train trip and the extra ticket for the roomette and a coupon for a free sandwich in the snack car. Why don't you head towards the observation car, Lou? Maybe stop by the bowling alley car or the gun range car.
Hang on now. I have a question about the gun range car. It seems to me it's unsafe at any angle relative to the car vis-a-vis passing through the car. Let's have it be a lap pool car. The pool can be to one side, or you can have a bridge over it so that you can crawl through.
The train seems to provide Lou with lots of interesting ideas. Here's the observation car. Maybe he can make more observations.
Wow, it's transparent. I'd rather it not be completely transparent, though. I'm content observing just some of the things around me. The ground whizzing by under my feet is just too much information.
Like people's private, intimate lives.
Already too much information.
When I'm alone with my friend...
Stop. This is my train.
Just poking fun.
I know you're me. I was just kidding also, maybe. You look tired this morning, Butch. You kept me awake last night with your mutterings. I'm sorry. I dream out loud. Your room will be finished getting fumigated today, and you can get back into it. I would rather sleep on a roller coaster. A what? A roller coaster at the fair. A what? A fair. Am I not saying my R hard enough? A fair. Maybe. Roller coaster. Roller coaster. Roller coaster? Well, what do you think it is? Roller coaster. Listen, I was taught to say that word by somebody I love, and I honor them by continuing to do so. And until they correct me, and they can't because they're dead, I will say it in that way because I have a sense of loyalty. But what if it's wrong? Good point. How do you say it? Roller coaster. Roller coaster. Okay, you still have sort of a soft R thing, but anyway, I think you said it right, because you also said coaster. Anyway, why did you sleep on a roller coaster last night? Listen to this. Wanted. Subjects for an experiment. Must practice detachment and have working knowledge of utilitarianism. Do we have that? No, I don't. I know I don't. I've heard of it. I have too. I think that's more than most people, so I'm going to consider myself expert level. I mean, if I know more than 90% of the population about a thing, I see. Expert. Like, I know the parts of the brain. Wow. Well, just the main 3. But that's more than 90% of people. Man. So I'm a brain expert. I see. Now, a brain surgeon knows more than me. I hope. They know more than 99% of the population. I see. So neuroscience is a spectrum. All I know is never underestimate overconfidence. Did you ever think, why isn't overconfidence punished more by fate? I have thought that, but then I think I'm not smart enough to think about that, so I don't. It's because the universe secretly itself is full of crap. The universe is a grandiose narcissist. So personally, I have the confidence to walk into that office with this ad in my hand and say, I am good enough to be a human subject in your secret experiments. What's the rest of the ad say? Apply in person at the Ring Road Castle. Ooh, spooky. It's not spooky. People rent that place out for weddings. But it's an old castle. It was built in the 70s. Well, it smells funny. That I can agree with you on. Let's head over to the castle and see about being experimental subjects. Butchie. What? I can't see you. Why? Probably all these red flags waving in front of my face. Ignore them. Go to the old castle and be human experimental subjects. It's probably for a local psychology department, and the experiment is just too weird or dangerous to be sanctioned on university property. Oh, they got to do some stuff off the books, so the interesting science just can't be done. As someone who has benefited from time travel and consciousness transference, I see your point. My dog Spiny is a reanimated dog carcass. You think those uptight, rigid-thinking academics would allow that kind of free-thinking innovation? Okay, well, let's go to the castle.
Do you think anyone has seen our ad?
I imagine by now, Doctor, yes.
And of those, how many do you think have seen it and read it?
It's hard to say.
And of them, how many are considering applying?
If I knew that, I'd have an ad agency or do direct mail or something.
And of those, how many will show up?
2.
2? Well, if you don't know the rest of the numbers, how do you know that?
I can see them standing at the front door on the security camera monitor.
Oh no, that's the statue of Eros.
No, that's the pool camera. This is the front door.
Oh, holy cow, those 2.
Shall I get the door?
No, we can do better than that. Pretend we're not home.
Are you sure, Doctor?
Yes, sure.
If they look in that window, we're going to look like idiots.
I'm willing to take that chance. Okay, there they are. just freeze.
I see people. What are they doing? Nothing. They're not even moving. Let me see. Oh, those are statues like the ones by the pool. All these castles are loaded with statues and suits of armor. Suit of armors. Anyway, that's disappointing. You'd gotten me psyched up about maybe doing something fatally stupid. Hey, you can't lose your money if you never even play the game. True that. Hey, where's Hardy?